When I was young, I was taught that hard work and striving to be the best was the key to success and happiness. That got me pretty far until I came to university. Before that, it wasn't that I didn't have to think. I just didn't have to think for myself. When I was young, success was a pretty straightforward narrative. I knew what I had to do, what I was going to be measured up against, and when I could stop. And for me, that was academics and chess. It was just studying hard, getting my A's, going to a good school, rinse and repeat until I ended up here in Oxford. But having life hurtling straight at me wasn't all that great. It magnified my problems, my choices, and my responsibilities. Life wasn't just about figuring out how to do a problem sheet, it was figuring out what I was going to do with my life. Conscription in the Singaporean army gave me 2 long years, and in that time I grew disillusioned and jaded with what I wanted to do. Every time I felt unhappy, I projected my happiness into the future, but every time I reached that goal, the fleeting sense of happiness vanishes. I'm not from a Christian family, but having friends that brought me to church was a great experience. I used to treat it as a matter of intellectual curiosity. Why would people put up with so much suffering to defend something that they could not prove to others? Why was Christianity so special if I just wanted something to make myself feel better? But as I began to ask my questions, things started to click together. As I read the Bible for the first time, I was amazed to find out how could so many people write so many different books over such a long period of time, and yet the Bible remained coherent. My vision of life enlarged beyond the material things of this earth. I realized that Christianity was not just a way to make myself feel better. We cannot accept the gifts but reject the giver. As I came to look at Jesus, I realized that it was really God Himself who wanted to know me. The promises that God made to me in the Bible were almost too good to be true. Paul writes in Romans that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved, not just for forgiveness for sins past, but also hope for a future where there's no death, crying, mourning, or pain. Saying that my life has changed since becoming a Christian is a bit of an understatement. I've learned to be kinder to others as well as to myself. I've learned to be grateful and content and not to take things for granted. I've also learned to be more open-minded because the Bible has things to say about almost anything under the sun. I've learned more about God and His promises, and that even though it can be difficult at trying at times to be a Christian, I've learned to find joy, peace, and hope in the everlasting figure that is Jesus Christ.